Alright, welcome back to another 1911 video on cut rate history. And today I want to talk about Colt. I have not been pulling my punches when it comes to modern day Colt. It's no secret that I like a lot of the stuff that's coming out of Turkey with T-Sauce and Mac. Really technically they're the same factory. The T-Sauce ASF, granted this one has a Remington Rand slide on it, but probably one of the best deals in general for a GI 1911 on the market. But to come with the, let's see if we get the lighting right here, the U.S. property marking, the correct, the original slide is based off the Remington Rand slide, so you get the traditional ejection port, the non-lowered kind, one of the best clones you can get on the market. And I've been very critical of Colt recently. Their QC just isn't great. That's no secret to anybody. There's even god-awful stories of guys getting guns that have no rifling in the barrel. Sometimes the sears have burrs. A lot of times the grip safeties are really loose. A lot of times the manual safeties are really mushy. They're not very positive. Whatever the case may be, their QC is less than ideal when they're charging 2 or 3 times as much money as something like this coming out of Turkey, and those are ready to rock and roll out of the box, and you typically have to tune a Colt a non-trivial amount to get it to the same kind of level. The other problem with the 1911 industry right now is it's hard to get a GI-esque gun, or really a high blue 1911, a high polished blue 1911 in general. They're out there, the Charles Daly makes them. They're a little weird. I'm not a fan of the case hardening or the engraving. I just really wanted an old school, Colt commercial-esque 1911 with some high polished blue. And one of the few guns on the market right now is the Colt Custom Royal Blue. This gun here. Problems, with this gun inherently. Number one, Colt doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of them. They are hard to find. If you've been looking for one, they're hard to get your hands on. And aside from that, they're not cheap. I mean, you can find used, scuffed up ones on Gunbroker for like $1,200. Brand new, they're all of $1,500, give or take, depending on how nice your local gun store is. But yeah, they're hard to find and they're expensive. And, we know for a fact that it's not that expensive to get a high polished blue. Look at something like, what is it, like the Roscoe Brawler, the Heritage, one of the Taurus subsidiaries makes that little Smith & Wesson J-frame clone, and it's a high polished blue. Those guns are like $300. So it's not the finish that's making this gun that expensive. To be fair, it does have a national match barrel, and the whole point of this video is really I got very lucky with this particular example. It seems that I won the lottery with this gun from Colt. This is just an excellent example of everything that Colt could and should be, and proof that they can do it. Everything about this gun is nice and tight. The trigger is fantastic. So we're clear. The trigger is just fantastic. There's no creep after that first wall. You hit that first wall, and then just a nice clean break. The manual safety is nice and positive. You can hear it in just the sound of the clicks, but I wish you could feel it through the video. It's fantastic. This is everything that you would want a manual safety to be. It's not hard to put on or take off, but you can definitely know when that's happening, and just the tactile feel is just absolutely perfect. And along with that, you know, the grip safety isn't mushy, it doesn't recoil. You can tell that the mainspring is acting on this properly. Now, eventually, I will do a strip down of this gun. I did that actually before I bought it, because thankfully I am fairly close with my local gun store owner. I was actually in there picking up a transfer for actually the parts to make the Mark 22 Hush Puppy that we talked about. I was picking up that frame and saw this just sitting in the case, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe they had a royal blue 1911 just sitting there. So I, you know, sprung on the opportunity. I picked it up and said, you know, I have concerns about modern Colt, about paying $1,500 for a 1911 that I'm going to have to take apart and fix all of the important parts, tune all of the important parts, and I don't want to have to do that. So having that relationship with that local gun store owner, he and I are personal friends. So he let me take this in the back and take it apart and check it out more than most people have the opportunity to do, and I'm very blessed and very thankful for that. But I got to check it out and make sure that it was a quality, a well put together gun before I dropped that kind of loot. And the problem I have with Colt is not everybody is fortunate enough to have that kind of relationship with their local gun store or anybody that they're buying from online. You know, 9 times out of 10 when you're buying something like this online, they're using the stock Colt photos. You're not seeing actual photos of the specific gun that you're about to get. You're seeing whatever Colt put on their website, and that retailer is just re-uploading those same photos. So it's really not fair. I wish Colt was at a point where you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to be, you know, good friends with your local gun store just to be able to make sure that the Colt that you're getting is worth the money that you're about to spend on it. It used to be that it was this understood, you know, Colt stood for, you know, it was quality. It was understood that if you bought a Colt, it was going to be a quality gun. You didn't have to worry about it. And it's unfortunate that we're in a place where that's just no longer the case. But I'm very happy with this gun overall. It is exceptionally accurate. You know, it is everything that a national match Colt custom shop gun should be. And unfortunately, it's just not the norm. So I did just want to kind of show that off, give a little bit of a quick rundown before we do a separate video of a teardown and a quick look at the internals. But yeah, I did win. I was very fortunate with this. Like I said, I did win the Colt lottery with this gun. And now, you know, now it's all fingerprinted up, and I'm sure that's bugging everybody. It's bugging me right now too. But just a quick look at this guy, and proof that Colt can do it. They just choose not to. If you did enjoy this, you know, quick dirty look at the Colt Royal Blue, give a like, a follow. Come check me out on Instagram. I'm much more active over there. It's just easier that I can operate, you know, off of photos from my phone throughout the day instead of having to sit down in an office, set up a camera, and film things like this. So more content over there, but we're working on getting more and more videos to the channel here as well. So I appreciate you coming out if you made it this far, and we'll catch you in the next one.